was talking about double patches.
Yeah. I don't really collect patches. I'm kind of like a default patch collector because everybody gives us their patches, which are awesome, and so now I have this like collection of them. But what you got there? Show me what you got.
Okay, so this one I'm pretty sure we got sent a bunch, and I sent you down one.
I do have that one. I think that one was from Calgary, maybe, or Alberta.
Possibly.
One of the two, but wait, hold that one back up because that's a good intro here. Hi everybody, welcome to the Crossrip. It is St. Patrick's Day as we're recording this.
Hey, I forgot about that.
We had grand plans. We were going to live stream this with our new sponsors. These are not our sponsors. No, we were going to live stream this, and I still can't get the sound to work on our stupid live stream, so we're working on it. I may be contacting some of our friends to deal with that, but yeah, we're going to be building our Eaglemoss Ecto-1 stages, 28, 29, 30. But wait, go back. So what other patches do you have? I was taking the Leprechaun.
Oh, Leprechaun. Yeah, I didn't even think, but hey, clever me.
Cheers.
Thanks, Subconscious, for, pulling some stuff together.
Yeah. I don't have
Elvis Buster.
I don't have Elvis Buster. Is that sort of like the Elvis Trooper? Where it came from. Yeah.
Do you remember Sherlock Holmes Trooper?
I do remember Sherlock Holmes Trooper. Yeah.
I had a T-shirt for Holmes Trooper, and it just got old and faded, and I really missed it. Yeah. Anyways, this one.
I do have that one too. Yeah.
Okay, you have that one.
Got that one.
And this one, which is quite appropriate given Hasbro's.
Yep.
Pre-orders.
Given our news last week, I do have that one as well from the Minnesota folks. Yeah.
All right. Well, if anybody wants to trade, I got these three,
and we'll throw in one of our patches or something too with it. But
obviously,
yeah,
a proton charging patch and a Larry Moogly. And that one is for Troy.
Larry Moogly.
All right.
Well, so as I mentioned, it was kind of a slow week just in terms of after the Walmart pre-orders came and went and are still up. If you haven't gotten yours, go grab them. I know Canada, you're still waiting for the green light, and UK, the Zavi pre-orders went up too. So, but they're still available.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, if you want to get them, they're still out there. The Ecto is still available when I last looked. Fearsome Flush still available. Bug-Eye Ghost still available. But
interesting note. Mr. Michael Tanaka asked us a question.
Was he just humoring us? I felt like that was just him humoring us for a second there, but
maybe. Well, we mentioned last week we weren't sure what the $50 price tag translated into in terms of what originally you'd pay for this stuff, and he asked, and I had a moment, or I was procrastinating, one or the other. A little bit of both. I found the Christmas Wish book from '89, and it was selling it for like just under $29 US.
Oh,
and
wow!
He said if you adjust that for inflation, it's just about the same.
Well, I know a lot of people were surprised because we thought it was going to be a $50 price point. We didn't really get to talk about it in our last episode because we didn't have the prices in front of us. It was the weirdest thing. We didn't have that information.
It showed up like the next morning, unfortunately.
Yeah, we ended up getting that press release. But then it went live on Walmart and it was $39.97. Rollback prices. Thanks, Walmart.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. So a little bit cheaper than expected, which is good.
So it means if you didn't own the Ecto as a kid, you can buy one now for cheaper than you could have gotten one back then.
What are the odds?
If you ever need, like, if your wife is like, no way in hell, there's your argument, right there.
It's like when I bought stuff on eBay for like no money at all, like a couple bucks, but it's brand new and it's reissued and it's going to be shiny and chrome. Yeah.
Exciting and new.
So I'm very excited. With any Walmart pre-order, it was a little bit bumpy. They did have a little technical difficulties right at that. They had the countdown clock. I think the countdown clock always throws people off because they just sit there and they wait for that countdown clock to finish. And then the countdown clock started, showing negative numbers. And everybody's like, where's the pre-order? And then refreshing brought about nothing. Nothing happened. And so there was a little bit of panic, but in the end, everybody got their pre-orders in, or you should have, because they're still available and still in stock. And as of now, I know some people are concerned about Walmart possibly bailing on those pre-orders. You know how sometimes they like to sell too many than they actually have, and they have to cancel some orders. But it doesn't seem like that's been the case quite yet. So stay tuned. But
well, I think we talked about this last time. I think this time round has the benefit of what the reaction was like last time. I think part of Walmart bailing on its pre-orders may have been the initial run just didn't cover it.
Not knowing, yeah. And now they have a better idea of how many people want these things,
right?
On top of us fans, the broader public, the other toy collectors in the world.
All right, what are we working on here?
So we're on 28, which is the left exhaust pipe, and then 29 is going to be the right exhaust pipe.
I love that there's left and right.
Well, it's the Ectomobile. Of course, that thing is backfiring out of 2 exhaust pipes. Going back to kind of our intro here, we have grand ambitions, Chris, and unfortunately, the grand ambitions didn't come to pass, at least for this episode. We've decided. For everybody out there that tunes into the podcast on Monday mornings and you expect a trim, a well-rounded hour podcast out of us. I like to say a trim half hour, but we always do an hour. And then you end up getting the Eaglemoss episodes where we just go, and I do cut some of the dead air out for audio. Chris and I had a conversation a couple weeks ago, like, how can we make this beneficial for both our YouTube viewers and for our longtime podcast listeners? And we decided we're going to start doing live stream build sessions. So, and that way it gives Chris and I some time to get through. I mean, we're on stage 28 right now, and I want to get to 51. Like, all of the really fun and exciting stuff happens at 51 for me. So,
right.
So it's going to give us some time to just like sit for 2 hours or 3 hours or however long we feel until we're like, okay, that's it, I'm done, good night, and terminate the stream.
Yeah, because Adam Savage is lapping us if we don't hurry up.
My God, Adam Savage is lapping us. Jason on Ghostbusters News is lapping us.
Jason lapped us ages ago. Jason's like complaining, man, we're way behind on getting to the moon, Troy. It's like, yeah, it was done about 4 decades ago, and
been there, done that, Jason.
Hey, I got this wild free roaming camera here.
Yeah. You put some more pictures up. Hey, look at that.
My other Dan Brereton's there. Those were covers that never came about.
I was going to say, what is that? I've never seen that Terror Dog. I've seen the Slimer because I think he sold prints of that or something, didn't he?
Yeah, to me.
To you. Yeah, that's where it is.
These were cover sketches he did. And then in the corner, there's my Ken Stacy ego.
Yeah,
so finally got that up.
So Brereton, he had started doing covers for the 88 miles per hour ongoing, right? Is that what those were for?
Yeah, he did. There was
it's like a variant, because he had one variant cover for the issue number 1 that never came out. I remember that.
Yeah, well, he had those, the 4 variants.
Yeah,
back there.
That was for the 4 issues. But when they, remember when It's Coming, Red Ketchup was telling us that, we're going to get that ongoing series, and I know that Andrew Dabb had even written scripts and stuff for it, but it never came to be. I think they solicited variant covers, and I thought Dan did one of those too, or maybe it was Steve Kirk.
I'd have to go back and check. I thought those 4 were the same issue, just different covers. But it's been so long now, I have no firm recollection.
Yeah, it's been a while. Guys, the 88 miles per hour saga seems like just yesterday, but at the same time, it seems like 10 million years ago at this point.
It was a very long time ago.
Very long time ago. Still waiting on that hardcover. I'm hoping it's going to come through in 2035, maybe. Oh, Sebastian, where are you?
Seb Clavitt?
Sebastian Clavitt, yeah.
Sebastian Clavitt
was a good guy. I think he just was, a little too ambitious, and didn't have the infrastructure to get his vision accomplished. And then, unfortunately, kind of got ran out of town because he had a lot of people's money, and that's how it goes. But
I have somewhere. They did the sketch, the Ecto sketch cover.
Yes.
Or the print. I have that.
I Didn't Chad from GB Central or Ghostbusters.net? I think he gave that to me somehow. That I don't know how he ended up with those.
I think he picked up the overstock or something. Like he just sort of. I mean, it was never explained, but I think quite possibly Seb was
liquidating, trying to get everything out. Yeah. I am. What did I do wrong here? Story of my life, Chris. What did I do wrong here?
Getting out of bed.
Well, that was problem number one. That's problem number one every day.
What's the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Arthur wakes up every morning and then has his morning scream when he realizes where he is. And then gets on with his day.
That sounds very apropos for 1 year into the COVID
way things
crisis.
are right now.
Yeah, I can't get this to piece together here. Figure C.
I don't know which one you're doing.
I'm still working on the muffler. I'm trying to get the other half of the muffler here to sandwich in and catch, but it's not doing it. You can't even access the Walmart pre-orders because of Walmart Canada, right? They don't let you hop over. It's sort of like Amazon where you can't shop from one to the other. I haven't tried, mind you, because I currently am not getting the sorry, I'm experimenting with my camera, trying to oh my goodness, I'm an idiot. Okay, so for our viewers at home and for our listeners,
an idiot.
I am an idiot. Eaglemoss is very gracious, and they give you the letter L for the left muffler here. And I'm looking at it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the left muffler, the letter's upside down. I had the whole damn thing backwards, so I got to redo it.
No.
Starting over.
Am I doing the same thing?
You might be. It's very crucial that L is on your left side. And
no, it was 50-50, and I lucked out. Yeah. I'm not an idiot. I'm just sloppy. Hooray!
Well, do you plan on trying to get any of those retro figures? Because I know that we talked about this when the first wave came out, and you were not kind of
figures. No.
Yeah.
The Ecto. Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. I don't know.
I ended up getting 2 of the Ectos. One for me, one for the kid. That's how I'm justifying 2 purchases now these days. Where it's like one for me, one for you.
Well, I have to. I have a child.
Yeah, and then I'm still on the fence about the Fearsome Flush and the Bug-Eye Ghost because I have the loose figures from my old set back in the day, and it's not necessarily something that I need to get one for my kid, and nor do I want extra figures of those. But they're still available, and they're calling me, at 3:00 in the morning when I'm laying in bed, and all of a sudden I start hearing, buy the stuff on Walmart. And it's just, I think our house is haunted, to tell you the truth, but
well, retail therapy is a thing.
It does. It is a thing, and especially during this whole quarantine stay-at-home thing, that's the only thing right now. It's just like looking forward to your Amazon purchases coming in the mail, or I finally have another shelf that's going to be behind me that I've been wanting to purchase for quite some time, and it is finally coming next week. So it's not going to look quite as naked back there. My hockey tiles are going to have some company for people that are watching the video. But
yeah, Thomas is preparing for spring. He got a rainbow loom thing at Christmas, and the neighborhood kids love making rainbow loom bracelets. And
nice.
It's cool. The lemonade. It's the lemonade stand of the new millennia.
Yeah, the crafting stuff. That's really come in handy for us because there's not a whole lot to do. Everybody's frozen. Hey, he's frozen. Now he's back. Chris is back.
He's frozen?
Yeah. My internet connection is unstable because that's how things are going tonight, Chris. It says that my internet is unstable. You know what's also unstable? Me. I'm not stable. That's where we're at. Things are not looking up right now. Yeah, I'd love to hear from everybody out there as to
crazy. Don't mind if I
do. Something. Yeah. No TV and no beer. It's kind of fun. Actually, having this Guinness here, we haven't had beer for a week in the house, which is, it's been a long week. But
I'm drinking. I could have had a beer.
Good to be having a Guinness and a shot of whiskey here. Yeah.
I brought water instead.
Well, you're being the sensible one, and you're having some water, which is what you should be doing. No. I, on the other hand, not so much.
I do have some.
Let's
lovely,
see. Have you finished up the muffler? Where are you at there?
I'm putting the second. I'm putting the other half of the muffler on right now.
Okay. All right. I caught up. I booked it. Sorry, what were you saying? You do have some lovely. I
have some lovely wheat beer from the local brewery. See, this will be the best part of COVID is I'll get to go back to your town and maybe I can coax you guys up here at some point.
Yes. I would love to. I need a Granville Island. Need an excursion.
Well, that's it.
And a little Port Stanley Moody. Park walk.
I'm in Port Moody, and we have many. You're
toward the mountains, right? I'm into that.
Yeah, and we have a microbrewery walk. So we'll get you your Granville, but I think you'll need to. I'm anxious to see once all this clears. I think the number of people on road trips is gonna go through the roof.
I think
travel in general,
people are going to end up.
But flights are still not cheap. Whereas I think a lot of people will suddenly pull a Jack Kerouac, which is not something Canadians or Americans necessarily do all that often. Is decide to drive long distances. But I think a lot of people are gonna do for the price of gas and food and stopping camping or going to a hotel or something. We could make a good
and you're
trip.
still trying to isolate a little bit, still trying to social distance a little bit. I think the good old fashioned America road trip that is chronicled in the John Hughes classic Vacation will be making a comeback down here just because of like you said, people either not feeling comfortable being on airplanes or not wanting to spend the money perhaps on the big excursions, or just like to get out and see the outdoors again. That's what I'm ready to go camping. I'm gonna just go spend a week out backpacking and disappear for a while.
What the heck I've been watching on YouTube a guy, what's his channel name? Mav? He's in Minnesota, Maverick? I think, and he's a real loner kind of guy, likes ice fish and all that. But his whole channel thing is about truck camping. Oh, where he's converted the back of his pickup bed to
into like a little pop-up camper. Yeah.
No, it's not even a pop-up camper. It's got a hard top to it, and he put in a custom wood drawer system, and then the upper half is where he has like his mattress and sleeping bag and all that. Cheers. And he so he can just go anywhere and then stop and sleep in the back of his truck.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, man.
Camping is great, but I have I don't have the largest vehicle, but I'm kind of hoping as things clear, Thomas and I can make little weekend trips and not have to spend a lot of time putting tents together and all that we can just kind of stop someplace and jump in the back and pass out and then get up and make the most of the day,
and then just keep going.
Okay. What is 28D? Sorry, we'll continue this in 1 second, but 28F is this sprue bit, but I don't know.
28D is that kind of waggly guy that you put there on the end.
So it's supposed to go to the end of that.
It becomes this long piece, one snaking piece.
I see now.
I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to flip this guy over on my little table so that everybody can see it and I can actually work here. See if this works. Please don't die. Please don't die. There we go.
Holiday Road.
Seriously, like all of the Sprinter camper vans that they sell now are. Like I'm so jealous. Like if I didn't have a family, I probably would be living in a van down by the river, which is not what Matt Foley would want you to do. But like it's so they have these awesome Sprinter vans that have wonderful interiors and
Yep.
so many luxuries that you wouldn't necessarily have when you're living out of a van. So obviously there's no space for all this stuff behind you, like a proton pack and collectibles and everything. But let's see. Oh no, you're kidding me.
What? You put it in backwards?
Well,
maybe.
So
I was half joking.
So the trick is that you gotta fit this to the bottom, and then you gotta flip it over, and you gotta screw it in from the top, which is gonna be difficult with my setup here. Also, this feels. No. Does this all pin in somewhere down here? How does this go? How does this go, friends? Friends, Romans, countrymen.
Hello, friends.
Get pins in. Wait.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a super outdoorsy guy, but a year of not even having like the commute to the office has really put me in the mood to
to hit the road.
Go somewhere and do something.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I feel like even now where it's like, okay, I got to get out of the house. What are we going to do? Well, we're just going to take a drive. Really? In Los Angeles? We're willingly hopping in the car and taking a drive? Oh, okay, sure.
Why not?
Oh, that's the other thing. I got to fit this other part in here. I'm a bonehead. All right.
This
totally missed figure A. It's going to be one of those days, guys.
Figure B somehow needs to sort of... What now?
AP goes in... Oh, boy.
Oh, I see. Don't do that out of order.
It's going to click into there. Okay. Okay, so I need an AP screw. Wow. Man, we're really getting into the mechanics of the car here. This is what I was worried about for doing like a normal episode. Sorry, everybody. If it's a live stream, you can just pop in and pop out when you're bored. But we'll work this out for the next go-around. What I feel like we've been making our strides. We did our audio podcasts, and we realized, like, maybe that's not really suited towards the Eaglemoss builds. Then we started the video and we're like, maybe these are a little long for people to watch the entire thing down. And then we're like, maybe we'll just live stream it so that people can follow along if they want to, or go back and scrub through it later down the line.
Scrub.
How the...
Oh, that screw is going to be a nightmare to put in place.
How the hell do you get that in there?
Well, pre-threading is going to be critical. Wow. And I suggest you go back in time 6 months to when I bought my screwdriver set, because it's magnetized.
Well, I mean, luckily the Eaglemoss screwdriver is magnetized, and it's gone. And it's gone. That was exactly what I was afraid of.
I'm not even 100% sure where the Eaglemoss one is right now. AP. You need an AP.
AP. He needs an AP.
Say there, author. I'm starting the 7th and last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. finally.
Hey! What do you think? Because you're watching it now on Star, right? Because you've got the Disney Plus with Star. Is that how you're watching it?
It was on Disney even before Star, actually, I think.
Oh, it was? Not down here, I don't think. Yeah, it hasn't hit...
It is up here.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? What you said you're on the final season?
I believe so. 7th is the time traveling is the... Oh, yeah. I shouldn't say that, because...
that's okay.
Backwards time traveling.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is if we don't get to meet Terrible 2 Steve Rogers, I'm going to be so upset.
You don't hold your breath for that. Wait, so the screw that fell out of there is not the... Well, that's concerning.
An entirely different screw fell out?
Yeah, so I went hunting for the screw that fell, and 2 screws fell out, so I have no idea what screw fell out of the engine here.
Oh, bloody hell, I did the same thing.
So
Fortunately, it fell all the way through and out the other side. Oh, this is going to be...
This is tricky. All right.
It's tricky to Rocco rhyme it. It's tricky.
You had not watched any of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Tricky. No, I was behind.
Okay.
It's tricky to Rocco rhyme it. Okay. What is it, D? It's tricky.
Yeah, I'm really bummed. We had started. What was it? It was the 3rd S.H.I.E.L.D. book, I want to say. And about damn, I did it again. Talking, chewing bubblegum, and walking. I can't do this. I think it was about the time we started the 3rd season book, where it was just like you knew everybody, and everybody was kind of, everybody was a family, and they do say that a lot on movies and TV shows, and it's sometimes true and it's sometimes not true. But on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it really was like I walked onto the back lot, and I knew all of the people that were behind the camera. I knew all of the people in front of the camera. They were all just so friendly, and it was the coolest thing. And just getting to be there for a couple days a week to observe things and to work on the book. And even though we weren't doing DVD stuff anymore, so I wasn't shooting footage, it was kind of nice just to be there and to grab, Ming-Na Wen in between takes and ask her a couple questions, and she was so cool. And so now I'm really glad to see not only is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of getting its kudos at this point, which it received, the fans loved it, and of course, Marvel fans dug it, but I think people are going back and revisiting it now and are realizing like it was such a great show, and those last couple seasons they really stuck the landing. So it's good to see people kind of now tuning into it, and I wish nothing but success for everybody on that show. It's just everybody was so cool, and it's great to see like Ming-Na is on Mandalorian, of course, and she's going to be in Bad Batch. She's doing voices and a whole bunch of stuff. Chloe Bennett's going to be a Powerpuff Girl, which is crazy.
Can't hear you. I've left.
All right, he's gone. All right, I'm going to stop trying to entertain our listeners then. I'm going to try to get this stupid thing in.
Yeah, I saw she was going to be in the Powerpuff Girls.
I don't know how I feel about that being like a gritty... it's like the Riverdale of Powerpuff Girls. Like they are kind of bitter that they spent their whole childhood being heroes. And
the one hand, I see what you're saying. On the other, what exactly could they do, given that show was so bubblegum to begin with?
Well, that's true. But it works well. I mean, it works well for a younger audience to watch that very bubblegum. And I enjoy it too. There's jokes in there for us.
Jojo. Boy, that guy got a lot of work there at Cartoon Network before he unfortunately passed.
Yeah. But also just how weird it was. Like Craig McCracken and Gendy Tartakovsky had such a great thing going with that show. I'm not going to lie. I don't think I can do this, Chris. I do not think I can get this screw to go in.
Patience. Okay, for starters, the bit that's attached to the car is super loose. It is already meant for the screw to go all the way through. There is no catch to it whatsoever.
Right. So
I am pre-tap I'm in the middle of pre-tapping the. This is also probably a good one to do. Like take the screwdriver and just sort of countersink the opening to it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like no screw, just sort of see if you can widen the opening a little bit for the screw. We'll get there. Eaglemoss, let's put it this way. Jason got it done. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he did it in a time lapse. You watch his video and he makes it look easy because he fast forwards through all this stuff. Jason. Well, and there you go. We're all done with 29. I'm like, what? That took me an hour. Get out of here. Jason.
Yeah, and Mr. Savage cheats. I put that in air quotes because he pre-preps some of the work.
That's true.
He like what's the cooking term? Mise en place. Everything in its place.
Yeah, it's sort of the movie magic. We put it in the oven and bake for 3 hours, and
all this stuff where you watch us countersink stuff. He's already done. He's kind of visualized his way through it.
Oh shit! Here,
deep breath.
I thought
swig of beer.
This was gonna be. I thought this was going to be my decompressing for the day, and instead I'm just getting more and more enraged. That's my secret cap. I'm always angry. All right. How am I going to do this? Locate the exhaust manifold. Secure the exhaust pipe to it using one AP screw. You make it sound so easy, instructions.
Right?
Can I just glue it? Can I just go get some Gorilla Glue and just make this thing done?
I like your style.
Adam cheats.
I like your face.
I like your face. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Powerpuff. I mean, on one hand, I'm curious to see what they do. It's kind of like the Zack Snyder, Snyder cut of Justice League. It's like, as an experiment, I am very curious to see how it goes. Yes.
Check it out.
How did you do that?
Everything I just said. And then patience. You're not doing the patience part, Troy.
I'm not doing the patience part. I'm going to try turning it on the side like you've got here. And I'm going to move.
It does make it a bit easier.
The exhaust out.
I would recommend lighting the damn thing if you can.
I can't do that, unfortunately.
The funny part is I've moved one of my lights now, and I feel this is the most I've ever felt like a toy mechanic in the garage. Like, I've got it up on the hoist. I've got the work light shining on it.
That's your top down here is a great view of what we're working on right now too.
It's not top down. It's on its side. It's on its side. See?
See, there you go. Well, your top down camera, I guess I was trying to say, but yeah.
I was trying to be fancy with it. You and I have kind of played with it. And now I've realized this one, if I give it a stand and it's got its cord, I can just move it wherever in the heck. As long as people don't see the bodies in the back. It's fine.
Oh my God, they're on to me. Okay, I think it's finally caught. Please, oh please, for the love of Gozer the Gozerian.
Gozer the Gozerian, Gozer the Destructor. Oh, Gozer.
All right.
The traveler has come. Choose and perish.
I know that Hazel is my child because in the DNA she's like, I want to watch Ghostbusters tonight. I'm like, oh, yeah, me too. Thanks, kid. So we were watching the original film, and I was struck by Ray's attire, the clothes that he wears in that original movie. He's got this great coat with the plaid flannel interior inside.
We should almost start a new segment, because I remember a while back I kind of had the same reaction. This is a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
The Venkman and his shirts, his button-up shirts are kind of the style again.
It's all come back into fashion. I mean, you walk around and you see all the like teenage girls walking around in the mom jeans from the Friends era of 1998, 1999. And it's like, why can't we go back to the 84, LL Bean shirts and things like that? I got it, by the way. I can't believe that was it was a St. Patrick's Day miracle that thing threaded.
Ta-da! Patience.
Ta-da!
Right?
Patience, he says. But yeah, I feel like I kind of already, not now, obviously. I've been in my house for a year. I don't dress like that. But usually when I go out, I do have like the button-down plaid shirts and the shirt underneath. Like, the only thing I would have to do is put the coat on top of it. I'm already there. I'm already Ray Stantz. It's like, I've been training for this my whole life.
I think they must have, whoever the shopper was for Aldridge. Is that right?
Theone Aldridge. Yeah.
Theone Aldridge. CP. I think they must have hit I wouldn't be surprised to find out that the shirts Venkman wore, etc. A lot of just LL Bean, because, like I say, Ray's is an LL Bean jacket. Peter's wearing a jacket at Lincoln Center.
He's got that orange LL Bean, kind of like corduroy
Hunter style.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's funny. I'm now very tempted to try and find if there's any JJ Bean, LL Bean. JJ Bean is a coffee franchise here in Vancouver. LL Bean.
I was gonna say we don't have JJ Bean. We got LL Bean. Yeah.
Find a catalog, like an '83 catalog.
Just see how much you can see in there. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm betting, because they're a bit of an early adopter of mail order, weren't they?
LL Bean, yeah, they were sort of like, I remember my parents getting the LL Bean catalogs. It was like Eddie Bauer was one of those too. It's like, oh, Eddie Bauer has a catalog. They're fancy, Before online shopping was a thing, obviously.
Yeah, and somebody responded too. They went out and got the same jacket, actually.
It's kind of funny. I put it up on Twitter just as one of those things, like, I'm gonna start dressing like Ray Stantz when we get out of this. Like, that's my new goal. And of all the stupid things that I post online, that's what caught wind, and everybody like retweeted and aggregated and yeah, I think it was it Fraser? I'm trying to remember who it was. Somebody did say that they had that coat. Yeah, man, I'm all for it. Like, let's just do it. Let's just start dressing like our heroes for the rest of this life that we're in. Let's see. So I got to put an IP in there.
That's got to be an IP too. I was going to recommend, if you're not a regular... I found in the pandemic my ability to listen to podcasts has... I say this as a podcaster, kind of been impacted. I still listen to some, but my taste for... It turns out 50% of my ability to listen to podcasts was contingent on
being in the car. Yeah, same. 100% same.
It's a very short list of ones that I can enjoy outside of that. But one of them I still listen to is 99% Invisible. I don't know if you listen to that one.
I'm not familiar with that one. What's that one?
It's just stories. They do little podcast documentary style stories on various things that stuff people don't know about, which makes it interesting. And the reason I'm bringing it up is this week is about a guy who's he did one on the start of the multiplex.
Oh, interesting.
And then kind of takes it into where things were at when the pandemic hit for movie theaters. Like, because it turned out the multiplex in its own right it blew up huge fast, but then it kind of oversaturated. Like, it's interesting to look at all the market industry pros and cons that come out of it. And then gets to now with the pandemic, where he's like, it's forcing these experiments that people have always talked about, which is what happens if you put it out into theaters at the same time, or what are we going back to after, and and now, like, because AMC was essentially the one that invented the well, I shouldn't say invented, but I think the guy who it ended up being AMC, I think, is the guy who came out with the multiplex. Actually, it's a hard one to say, because I think he saw it in Europe, certain things in Europe, and kind of riffed off of them, but that was in the 60s or whatever. No, that would have been later. I should have listened closer, apparently. But
your attention is elsewhere most of the time.
It's a little split, sorry. But the point is it really, really interesting, because the next step is him going, where are we going to what happens next? And he's like, I don't think movie theaters are dead, but I don't know that the multiplex is precisely where it's at. Which is interesting, because just heading into the multiplex, you and I talked about how, Cineplex up here was starting to do the fancy version of the VIP, which was, bring more of an adult location sort of thing, right? Like you could, the restaurants and the eating in
having
the cinemas.
Having the waiter that brings you the drinks and the food and stuff, yeah.
And bar lounge you can hang out in before and after, and games and all that sort of thing. Okay, where are you at?
I'm just doing figure A on step 3, this bracket, this first muffler bracket here.
Help me out here, because I got... Okay, so I step 2, I got A in. I hooked up the piping in figure B. I got the screw in figure C in place.
That's here, yeah.
And then they talk about IP up at the wheel well.
D, that's up here. So check it out. It's
that's
at the
IP.
Yeah, it's this one right here. Like on the other side, there's like a little bump like a little groove that falls into the right here to the outside of the chassis.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. The way I'm looking at it, I see there's 2 screw holes. And the one, I think in this one they're talking the IP, it's the one at the wheel well.
Yeah, it is.
There.
It's like, it's right.
Not to be confused with the one, there's one up here. See the...
Oh, I put it in this one that's right. I need a third hand story of my life.
You put it up here.
I put it here.
Yeah, that's the one I'm pointing at now, but I think the figure's talking about this one here.
Back here. Oh.
See? Yeah, this confused me. I'm assuming that one will come up soon.
You're right. It goes in here. But it also has another one of those grooves that it just fits right in there, I think.
Yeah, they both do. It's just, I think the other one that
goes into something else.
Be coming up.
See if I can just pop this onto the other side. I'm glad you caught that, because that would have probably caused some serious problems down the road here.
I don't know if I'd caught it so much as help. I'm confused. Help me.
Well, and it because all of the pieces on the exhaust pipe fit in, pretty well down that right on that side there. It was like, oh, that must be where it goes. But you're right. If you look at that diagram closer, that's where it's supposed to go. Shoot.
So confusing.
I don't know if we're going to get past the right exhaust pipe in this one.
You begin to see why people we talked about move into long-form lives.
Yeah.
If we're not gonna time lapse it like Jason, and we're not gonna prepare like Mr. Adam Savage,
because then I could be checking in the chat and seeing what people are saying here. That was the goal, is to look up at the chat and be like, oh, hey, whoever's out there, cheers. We're on our own, Chris.
That was a freebie there.
That was a freebie. That was just free. That was the softball.
If I was you and you were me, I want to be given.
All right, so that's in. So now I got to put in this other muffler one here. Whoa. Where does this go? This goes right here? Okay. All right, so we've got these 2 brackets that have to go over the exhaust pipe at either end of the muffler. Just move it into the light so you guys can see and I can see.
You ever seen It's a Mad World?
I have, because we did a comparison between it and The Great Race. We wanted to see what the two, that was its own genre for a little while. It was just like the star-studded, cameo-filled relay race, Cannonball Run kind of movies.
Did you ever see Rat Race?
And yes, and that's what it came up because we were watching Rat Race and we wanted to see like how it compared to the others.
I love Rat Race.
It was Rowan Atkinson and who else was in that one? It's been a while. Was it John Cleese?
John Cleese in an amazing set of dentures. John Lovitz.
Oh, that's right. It was Lovitz.
John Lovitz visiting a car museum, and they have Hitler's saloon car. And the setup to get him with a burnt tongue so he can do a pigeon German with grease under his nose. Oh my god. You can't do that anymore.
Man.
But they did. The reason I asked about it's a Mad World is been watching that Ashley Burton I mentioned, who does the Millennial Watches movie thing.
Right, the first time she's seen stuff, that one.
Her followers convinced her to watch It's a Mad World, which is not a bad recommendation, except she went looking for it, and all you can get now is the special edition, which is like 3.5 hours long. It's a 2.5 hour long theatrical release.
Yeah, I remember watching it on VHS. That's when I saw it the first time. It was on the 2 tapes. Yeah.
The absolute best about that movie is Spencer Tracy as the police chief, who only interacts with everybody at the end. Has that bit where he throws his hat.
Oh,
and it goes out the window and into the street, which is a funny enough joke on its own. But what they convinced Jerry Lewis to do, who was very busy and very popular, is to appear as a guy driving his car, see the hat land in the street, swerve over 2 lanes to run over it, and then drive off laughing. And it's hysterical.
It's insane. It is one of the weirdest endings. Yeah, that movie is...
Jonathan Winters demolishing that gas station.
Oh my god.
Just... kids, it may not be your cup of tea if you have you know what? If you got small kids, I think small kids would
could watch it. Yeah,
it's kick out of it.
It's kind of Muppet movie where there's some stuff that's just going to be over their head, but
yeah, see, that's the funny part is like the Great Muppet Caper Great Muppet Caper. What was the first one?
Muppet Movie.
Actually, frankly, the first 2 or 3 Muppet movies were a lot like... Well, actually, they all were. They were all cameo heavy and all that. But that first one was very much the weird cameo road movie thing. Like, Big Bird shows up, right? Like just...
All right, well, I'm gonna ask the question here, Chris. Are we going to move on to 29? Are we going to try to do the other exhaust? Or are we exhausted?
How long have we been doing this?
Let's check the timestamp here. Hold on.
Just a little under 50 minutes.
Everybody out there is like, my God, it's been too long.
I don't know. I think by the time we get to the end of this is the straw that breaks the camel's back that we got to figure out.
Yeah. I feel like
live streaming.
Here's what we should do, everybody out there. We've done the left exhaust on video. I think Chris and I off camera are going to do the right exhaust. Just because it is exactly the same thing, just on the opposite side. And then we're going to come back in stage 30 and have the live stream thing fixed some way, somehow. We're going to figure that out. But yeah, it's particularly when we get into the intricacies here, like when it was just 1 or 2 little steps, it was not that big of a deal. But when we get into the stuff where it really requires your attention, we'll just do it as a live stream. It'll be kind of like a bonus episode up on the podcast. That way, if you're listening on Monday morning, you're not like, oh no, it's another build episode. It's going to be dead air for 6 hours or whatever it ends up being. Yeah, I'm going to set that over there. I'm going to do the right side later. I think that's what we're going to have to do. Oof. The other thing that I'm very concerned about, ladies and gentlemen, is that we have to hold on to this tiny, tiny, tiny little piece right here.
Oh no, they gave us a floater?
It's a floater, and I know I'm going to lose this damn thing. I don't know where to put this where it's not going to get lost. I'm going to tape it to something. I'm probably going to tape it to the bottom of the chassis here just so I don't lose it.
I have my box from the very first episode where, remember, that first kit was 1/2 parts to... Here, hold on to these for the next...
Hold on to this hubcap for stage 49. Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna have to go somewhere in there, and I'll hopefully not lose it. But so there it was. That was, boy, stage 28, the left exhaust pipe. What a way to close out St. Patrick's Day. A very long St. Patrick's Day for both of us, I know.
I'm not even done. Oh, no, don't lose the screw.
Oh, no.
Nope, I got it.
Okay, got it. Whew. Zang. Well, Chris, I'm gonna bring things home here for us all so that we can just finish this up. But so let's talk 300th episode, ladies and gentlemen, because I know that there are so many people out there that were very excited to join us on the 300th episode, and that is incredibly amazing and flattering. And it really overwhelmed Chris and I because we're like, I don't know how we're going to do this. We're not going to be able to we can barely do this like quad view thing. How are we going to do like 60 people all at the same time trying to moderate a conversation between everybody? And it's not going to work. So we have figured out what we want to do for the 300th episode to get everybody involved. We are doing some pre-taped segments with some friends and family of the podcast that are going to be joining us for our 300th episode. It's very exciting. I'm very excited to talk to some of these people. And then in between, we want to put your video or taped messages up so that we can get as many voices heard as humanly possible on the show. And Chris came up with the wonderful idea because we are coming out of the pandemic here and we all need a little bit of love and positivity in our lives. We want to hear your recommendations for anything. Food, music, movies, books, comics, drinks, you name it. We're going to put together, this is like basically to celebrate the 300th anniversary. It's just things that we love. And all of the guests that we're going to have on the podcast, that's what we're not going to talk Ghostbusters with them. We're going to talk about stuff that they love. And it may tangentially kind of relate back to Ghostbusters. Like if somebody says, I love Big Trouble in Little China, and it's because Ghostbusters came out at the same time and they were very similar movies or whatever, it will relate. I guarantee it because we're Ghostbusters fans. But I think this is the best way to do it. And then what we're going to do, if you're not able to participate in the interviews that we're doing, or if you're not able to submit your messages that we're going to put in the little interstitials in between, that's a lot to begin with. But we're also going to do this as a premiere right here on the YouTube channel on a set date and time. And we haven't figured that out yet. It's going to be the week of April 12th. So set your calendar reminders because we're going to figure something out for that week. But we're going to do a live premiere of that pre-taped everything where Chris and I and a bunch of people that you know and love will also be in the chat. And that way we'll be watching stuff. Be in the chat. You'll be in the chat. We can be talking to each other. Chris and I won't be distracted trying to run the show and also look at the chat and get everybody's comments too. So, basically, this is like a 1, 2, 3 punch of everybody getting to some way, somehow get to contribute to this 300th episode. Because quite frankly, this podcast is your podcast. Chris and I are just kind of the flapping gums here that speak the entire time. But this is really for you guys, the fans, and we want to make sure that you guys are all a part of this too. So hopefully that works for you out there, and I think it's going to work for us. It's a little bit more manageable to try to get everybody in. And so what I want you to do is, if you want to submit a message, if you want to submit your recommendation for anything, recipe, you got a favorite family recipe you want to share with us, please do that. Hit us up on our direct messages on any social media, or send me an email. If you don't have my email, please DM me. I'm not going to give it out on here. I don't want all that spam email to come through. But if get us a video if you can. If you don't want to do video, that's totally fine. Give us a voicemail, call the voicemail line, send us a voice note on your phone, and we will cut those together and put those all into the show. And frankly, I'm very excited for this because I'm really excited to hear what you guys recommend so that we can all kind of take those recommendations and run with them and see. I hope somebody out there has a really good chicken parm recipe. For the love of God, somebody give me a chicken parm recipe because I am jonesing for a good chicken parm. Yeah, that's all I got. We meant to mention it in the last episode, and we were so excited about the real Ghostbusters reissues that we didn't get to it. So you do have time. Please, if you want to submit something, send it in before the first week of April to give us some time to cut everything together and prepare it for the show. But I appreciate that suggestion, Chris. I think that was a really good way to do it, because I think you saw the dark circles under my eyes and the look, we are in a pandemic. I have no motivation. I have no ambition. I have no, like, I can't, I'm running on fumes here, and I want to make this something special, and I think this is a better way to produce it. So,
well, you're all clever people. Yeah. We don't, you listen to us jabber on and recommend stuff, and frankly, I think it'll work quite nicely.
Yeah.
The other way as well.
And I don't want to speak for any of the special guests that will be on the show yet, because we're still working on confirming that, but some very fun people you've heard on the show before, people you haven't heard on the show before, maybe.
Tony, Orlando, and Dawn.
I'm going to switch into my Tony Clifton persona and just going to, let's get that Tony out of here. I don't like that guy. That's my yeah. So there it is. Chris, what else you got in terms of final thoughts while you wrap stuff up here? I know you're trying to just get that last screw in.
I had nothing.
Nothing.
Last screw's in. I think I'm okay.
Yeah, I think
I'm just trying to make a pretty micro shot there for.
Knowing the day that you had, knowing the day that I had, and knowing how difficult stage 28 here was, I'm thinking, hey everybody, happy St. Patrick's Day. We're just doing this right here.
Kiss me, I'm Irish. That's my final thought.
Kiss me, I'm Irish. I am not Irish. I'm Welsh, but it's fine. But all right, next week, fun things in store. That's all we got. See you on the other side, everybody.